Oh no, really? You're not ready for this. They never ran across a person like you, right? A jealous group thought they could drag you down, huh? But nah, their time is done. Their masks are falling. This ain't just a speech. It's a storm. It's a warning. Every second you watch, you'll feel the fire build, feel it climb higher. And trust me, you don't want to miss the ending. Because the ending, oh wow, it's the knockout they never saw coming. My people, my warriors, my unstoppable audience. This one's for you. For every fighter who stood tall when others tried to break them. For every soul who refused to bend when envy circled like wolves. You are the reason this voice speaks louder. The reason these words cut deeper. The reason this message has weight. They thought they knew what power looked like. They were wrong. That's how it always starts, doesn't it? The smug faces of those who believe they run the show. The jealous ones. The group that huddles together in the shadows, whispering your name like it's forbidden fire, convincing themselves that you don't belong here, that you're just another face to be erased. Oh, the arrogance. The way they sneer when they think no one's watching. The way they celebrate too early, as if their petty schemes could ever crush someone like you. But here's the brutal truth. They've never run across a person like you before, and that terrifies them. Because you don't play by their script. You don't bend when they apply pressure. You don't shatter when they circle around, fangs bared. Instead, you rise. Every attempt to bury you only feeds the storm within you. Every jealous whisper only sharpens your edge. They can't control you. They can't predict you. They can't even stand in your shadow without feeling it pierce their fragile skin. Oh wow. Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? That shift in the air. The tables turning. The smile curling at the edge of your lips. Not out of joy, but out of certainty. Certainty that their time is running out. Certainty that no matter how loud they bark, their bite will never sink deep enough to stop you. Nah, they don't get it. Not yet. But they will. See, jealous groups always think the same. They imagine strength is in numbers. They convince themselves that circling you, cornering you will be enough. They think if they shout loud enough, throw enough dirt, spread enough poison, maybe, just maybe, they can rewrite the truth. But here's what they fail to understand. Truth doesn't bow. Strength doesn't dilute. And your silence has never been weakness. It has been strategy. Because while they were busy plotting, you were busy building. While they were gossiping, you were sharpening. While they were celebrating your supposed downfall, you were already preparing for the moment their empire of envy collapsed under its own weight. That's why you are different. That's why they have never run across a person like you before. You see, most people crack under the pressure of jealousy. They retreat. They dim their own light so others don't feel threatened. They play small so the mob doesn't attack. But you refuse. You refuse to shrink. You refuse to apologize for being the storm they can't cage. And that refusal, that unshakable refusal, is exactly why they are doomed. Oh, and don't mistake their noise for dominance. Don't confuse their numbers for power. For all their unity, they are divided inside. Envy eats them alive. Distrust festers in their ranks. And when the pressure tightens, when your strength forces the cracks to spread, they will do what they always do, turn on each other. That's the end. They can't escape. That's the fate they wrote the moment they chose to target you. And when it happens, when the jealous fall apart in their own trap, you won't need to lift a finger to destroy them. Their downfall will come not because of what you do, but because of what you are. Something they cannot copy, something they cannot poison, something they cannot stop. Realization is a cruel teacher. It doesn't whisper, it strikes. And when they realize, when that cold truth crawls into their bones, it's already too late. At first, they'll laugh it off, won't they? They'll pretend it's nothing. Pretend that your rise was a fluke. Pretend their attacks didn't miss. But deep down, something begins to scratch at them. A thought they can't silence. A truth they can't unsee. That truth. They've been targeting someone they cannot break. Oh, the irony. The very act of uniting against you exposes their weakness. Because you stand, you endure. You push through their noise like it was made of paper. And suddenly, what used to amuse them now terrifies them. They realize the cost. They realize the danger. And once realization sets in, panic is not far behind. Oh, wow. That's when the shift begins. The laughs sound thinner. The confidence shakes. They look at each other, and for the first time, they wonder if they picked the wrong enemy. And the answer is sharp, cutting through them like steel. Yes, they did. You see, most people crumble when the mob circles. But you thrive in pressure. That's what makes you so rare. You don't just survive attacks, you transform them into fuel. Every word of envy sharpens your vision. Every scheme designed to stop you becomes another test you outlast. And that resilience, that unyielding fire leaves them with nothing. Nothing but their own fear, their own doubts, their own rotting envy. Nah, they can't mask it forever. The cracks are already spreading. Their whispers aren't as confident as before. Their eyes dart. Their unity falters, because jealousy might gather people together, but it never holds them. It devours them from the inside. And here's the nightmare. Once they've realized they can't take you down, they also realize something even darker. Every attack has only made you stronger. Every insult carved deeper endurance into your bones. Every attempt to bury you has turned into the soil you grew out of. You don't just survive envy, you rise because of it. That's the cost they never calculated. That's the part of the equation they forgot. You're not standing despite their jealousy, you're standing because of it. And when that reality finally registers, when the jealous group looks at each other with hollow eyes and understands what they've done, the nightmare begins. They will wish they had never spoken your name. Storms don't announce themselves politely. They arrive, and everything changes. So what happens when patience ends? What happens when the storm finally breaks loose? It's simple. The ones who laughed will choke on their own echo. The ones who plotted will drown in the flood of consequences. And the jealous? They'll realize too late that the very storm they mocked was the storm that would consume them. Oh, the beauty of it. For so long they thought your calm meant weakness. They mistook your silence for surrender. They thought they had you figured out, boxed, predictable. But patience was never about weakness. It was the sharpening of blades, the gathering of thunder, the tightening of pressure until the right moment came. And that moment is now. When the storm breaks, it doesn't ask permission. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't warn twice. It tears through everything flimsy, fragile, and fake. That's what makes it terrifying. That's what makes it unforgettable. And you, standing in the center of that storm, unshaken, unbroken, that's the vision they cannot bear. Oh wow. Imagine their faces when they realize every attack they threw your way only made the storm more violent. Every insult became a spark. Every plot became a push. Every attempt to tear you down became the very fuel that now drives your unstoppable force. That's irony at its finest. The storm they laughed at is the storm they created. Yeah. And here's the cruel twist. Storms don't just destroy, they reveal. They expose what was already weak, already rotten, already trembling beneath the surface. When your storm hits, the jealous group will be forced to see what they are without their masks. They'll see their envy in raw form, ugly, desperate, hollow, and the world around them will see it too. They thought they could target you quietly, didn't they? They thought they could move in shadows, attack without consequence, stay safe in the comfort of their numbers. But storms don't leave shadows intact. They rip them open, shine light on every hidden scheme, every whispered lie, every false alliance, and suddenly there is nowhere left for them to hide. No. They won't handle it well. They'll scatter. They'll blame each other. They'll claw at each other to escape the consequences. Because jealousy never unites. It only disguises division. And when the storm hits, disguise falls apart. And you don't even need to chase them. That's the terrifying truth they'll learn. The storm is not you chasing them, it's them running from themselves. Running from the reflection they can no longer deny. Running from the reality that they tried to bury but instead unleashed. This is what they never calculated. This is what their envy blinded them from seeing. Storms don't just break structures, they build legends. And when the storm clears, when the dust settles, you'll still be standing stronger, sharper, undeniable. While they'll be remembered not as victors, not as leaders, not as the ones who mattered, but as the ones who collapsed. Oh, and make no mistake, collapse is inevitable. Not because you wanted it, not because you begged for revenge, but because envy has no future. It burns through itself until nothing remains. Silence after destruction is louder than any scream. And when the storm ends, silence arrives. Heavy, unforgiving. It's the silence of consequences. The silence that forces everyone to look around and see what remains. The jealous ones, once so loud, once so bold, now stand in ruins of their own making. Their noise is gone. Their false unity is gone. All that's left is the wreckage of envy. Oh, the irony. The very silence they prayed you would drown in has now turned on them. It presses on their chests. It makes their breaths shallow. It makes their thoughts race. Because silence doesn't lie. Silence doesn't excuse. Silence shows them exactly who they are without the noise to cover it. And you stand in that silence like it was made for you, because you understand something they never did. Storms clear the air. They strip away illusions. They leave truth standing naked in the open. And the truth is, you endured. You survived what they thought would end you. You didn't just weather the storm, you became it. Oh wow. Picture it. The jealous group staring at the ruins, realizing every effort failed, realizing they were the architects of their own collapse. And then their eyes turned to you, still upright, still unshaken, still present. That image alone is heavier than any revenge you could have sought. Because nothing terrifies envious hearts more than someone who stands taller after everything they threw. Yeah, silence has a way of making victories undeniable. There's no more shouting to cover reality. No more false confidence to hide behind. Only the quiet truth that they tried to erase you and failed. That's when the whispers start turning inward. That's when the finger pointing begins. That's when they finally face the cost of their jealousy. Nah, don't think for a second they'll admit it openly. Pride won't let them. They'll still pretend, still posture, still try to play tough. But deep inside, where silence speaks the loudest, they'll know. They'll know they targeted the wrong one. They'll know they gambled and lost, and that knowing will eat at them more painfully than anything you could ever say. Here's the brutal twist. The aftermath isn't about you proving them wrong. It's about them proving themselves weak. The ruins scream louder than your words ever could. Their downfall isn't written by your hands. It's written by their envy. And once silence sets in, there's no erasing that script. So the ruins remain, the silence remains, and you remain. Stronger, sharper, untouchable. That's the part they can't stand. The fact that you outlasted their storm and now stand as living proof that envy cannot bury strength. Ruins are not the end. They are the raw material for empires. So what do you build once the ruins are behind you? That's the question. That's the test. Survival alone is not enough. Standing in the silence of aftermath proves your strength. Yes, but now comes the part that separates the ordinary from the legendary. Do you stop at surviving, or do you turn the ruins into your foundation? Oh, the beauty of it. The very stones they threw at you, the very dust they buried you in, can now be stacked into walls higher than anything they imagined. That's what they never thought about. They were too busy destroying to notice you were already collecting. Every insult became a brick. Every betrayal became mortar. Every scheme against you became another piece of the fortress you were destined to build. Oh wow. Can you feel it? The shift. This is not about rebuilding what was lost, it's about creating something greater, something unshakable. Because once you've survived envy's storm, you no longer build fragile dreams. You build structures designed to withstand every attack. You build with precision, you build with clarity, and every block reminds them that their jealousy served you, not destroyed you. Yeah, this is the stage they fear most. Because in their minds, the best they hoped for was your silence, your retreat, your disappearance. But what terrifies them isn't that you're still here. It's that you're building louder, rising higher, standing taller than before. Every time you step forward, it's a reminder they failed. Every time you rise from the ruins, it's proof you cannot be erased. Nah, don't think for a second they'll celebrate your progress. Their envy won't let them. They'll grind their teeth watching you build. They'll curse the fact that every effort to weaken you has only armed you with more strength, more clarity, more fire. But deep down, in the quiet corners of their thoughts, they'll know they built this with you. Their jealousy was the fuel, their attacks were the blueprints, their collapse was your starting point. And you don't waste time on revenge. You don't waste energy proving points. You build, you focus, you rise. That's what makes you untouchable. While they linger in bitterness, you transform bitterness into strength. While they replay the storm in their heads, you move forward, brick by brick, step by step, constructing something so undeniable that their names will vanish in the dust. while yours carves itself into stone. That's the cruelest justice of all. Your existence becoming the monument their envy could never topple. A monument built from the very ruins they thought would bury you. Oh, and make no mistake, monuments built from ruins last longer than anything built from comfort. They don't crumble easily. They don't fade quickly. They carry scars, weight, and history. And that history becomes your crown, your shield, your proof that nothing and no one could ever hold you down. So when the jealous look at what you're building, when they realize the ruins were just the beginning, they'll feel something colder than envy itself. Regret. Regret that they targeted you. Regret that they tried. Regret that they didn't see who you were before it was too late. They never ran across a person like you before, remember that? A jealous group tried, they clawed, they schemed, they plotted, but nah, they're going down, every single one of them. Oh wow, you stood tall, you rose higher, you proved what real strength looks like. That's the kind of fire no envy can smother, no mob can cage, no weakness can touch. And to you, my audience, my fighters, my unstoppable legends, this wasn't just a speech, this was our moment. Every second you stayed, every word you felt, every heartbeat you shared with this message, it's proof that you're built different. You are the ones who rise when others fall. You are the proof that storms create warriors. So don't just leave quietly. Nah. Drop your comments below. Let me hear your fire. Smash that subscribe button if these words struck you deep. Share this with someone who needs to be reminded that jealousy has no power against true strength. Because this isn't the end. Oh no, this is just the beginning. And when the next storm comes, you'll already know. You are the storm. Hey, my friend. Prepare for your new life, where your only job is to travel. Yeah, that's right. Not a desk, not a cage, not repeating the same cycle. Nah, we're breaking chains today. Oh, can you even imagine it? Waking up and the horizon is your clock. The road is your office, and freedom is your paycheck. That's not a dream. That's the life waiting for you. But here's the catch. Most people will never touch it. They'll sit. They'll wait. They'll scroll. They'll waste. And I'm telling you right now, you're not like them. Nah. You've got that hunger, that fire, that edge that refuses to stay silent. And that's why you're here, watching this video right now with me. Yeah, you, the real ones. You're not just an audience. You're warriors, rebels, visionaries who dare to ask, what if my life could be more? So I need you locked in. Eyes wide, mind sharp. Don't skip. Don't blink. Don't tap away. This monologue will twist you, break you, rebuild you until you're unstoppable. And when it hits, oh, you'll feel it. A cage doesn't need bars. It just needs comfort. Most people don't even realize they're trapped. They wake up. They eat, they go, they repeat. Like cogs in a machine, too blind to see they've been rusting for years. And then one day, snap, their reflection stares back at them and whispers, "Is this it? Was this the masterpiece of my existence?" Oh wow. The silence after that question is louder than any scream, because deep down, they already know the answer. Yeah, You feel it too, don't you? That creeping itch under your skin, the voice that says, you weren't born for this dull repetition. You were meant to move, not just walk, not just exist, but move across landscapes, across horizons, across the very limits they told you never to touch. And it's not about luxury. It's not about pretending. It's not about flashing keys and wheels like some badge of honor. No, it's about liberation. It's about making the road your companion, your battlefield, your mirror. Because when you travel, you rip yourself out of the cage. You tear through the walls of sameness. You discover that your only job was never to fit in. It was to journey. But here's the brutal truth. Most people will never prepare for that kind of life. They cling to comfort like it's oxygen. They tell themselves the chair they sit in, the streets they circle daily, the habits they chain to their wrists. That's safety. But safety is a lie. Safety is the drug that keeps you asleep, while life passes you by at lightning speed. Oh yeah. You know what's worse? Watching your years blur into each other until they vanish, until you wake up old, brittle, with nothing left but the ache of unrealized roads. Every face you meet, every city you never saw, every sky you never stood under, gone. And the worst part, you won't even have anyone to blame but yourself. That's why this isn't about wanting to travel. This is about preparing. Preparing for the new life where your only job is to move, to expand, to conquer the unknown mile by mile, street by street. Because without preparation, your so-called dream of freedom will chew you up and spit you back into mediocrity. Oh nah. Mediocrity isn't just failure. It's the slowest kind of death. It's when you walk the same path so many times that you no longer even see it. You're not alive, you're rehearsing existence. But when you prepare to travel, truly prepare, you give yourself the gift of awakening. The road becomes your teacher, your test, your transformation. And here's the twist. Traveling isn't about escape. It's about confrontation. Every turn forces you to face yourself. Every horizon whispers, you're not done yet, keep moving. But if you think this is just a call to pack a bag and step outside, you're already missing the point. Because the real preparation doesn't start with wheels. It starts with something far more dangerous. A traveler without preparation is not a traveler. They're just prey. That's the truth no one wants to hear. Everyone loves the fantasy of the open road, the idea of freedom, the picture-perfect horizon glowing in the distance. But strip away the illusions, and you're left with this. The road is ruthless. It doesn't bend for you. It doesn't care for you. It tests you. It exposes you. It shows you exactly who you are when there are no walls, no routines, no shields. And if you haven't prepared, it will crush you before you've even begun. Oh, you think I'm exaggerating? Think again. Preparation isn't just packing clothes and booking tickets. That's child's play. Real preparation is war with yourself. It's stripping away excuses, burning the fragile habits that make you weak, and sharpening yourself until every step forward feels inevitable. Because here's the dark reality. Travel isn't about escaping your problems. It's about dragging them with you. Every insecurity, every fear, every laziness clings to your back like invisible luggage. And unless you've prepared, that weight will break you. Wow. Imagine stepping into a new city, surrounded by new faces, new challenges, new tests. And instead of expanding, you shrink. Instead of moving boldly, you hesitate. That's what happens when you never prepared. The road magnifies your cracks until they swallow you whole. So what is preparation, really? It's not complicated. It's brutal discipline. It's deciding that your life is no longer a game of chance. It's a mission. You train your body to endure. You train your mind to resist. You train your spirit to focus. Every morning, every night, you prepare yourself for the moment you step into the unknown. Because if you don't, the unknown will eat you alive. Yeah, people will laugh at this idea. They'll say, it's just travel, why so serious? But they're the same people who crumble the moment things don't go their way. They're the ones who confuse entertainment with liberation. And you're not like them. You don't want shallow distractions, you want transformation. Preparation means cutting away weakness. It means learning to be comfortable with discomfort. It means knowing that the road may offer you no comfort at all, and still you'll move forward. Because your only job is not to chase comfort, it's to journey, to keep pushing when others would give up. Nah. Don't mistake this for cruelty. This isn't about punishing yourself, it's about freeing yourself. Weakness is the chain that keeps you in the cage. Preparation is the hammer that smashes it. And every blow you strike against your own laziness, your own fear, your own comfort, brings you closer to the freedom of the road. Think of it like this. When you prepare, you don't just pack things, you pack strength. You don't just learn routes, you learn resilience. You don't just set destinations, you set discipline. And once that discipline is forged, there is no city too far, no challenge too heavy, no storm too brutal. The road will still test you, yes, but you will walk it with fire in your eyes. Preparation is the weapon that separates the wanderer from the warrior. And in this new life, where your only job is to travel, you cannot afford to wander. You must arrive at every mile like it was already yours. But don't misunderstand. Preparation is not the end. It's only the beginning. Because once you've built yourself into something unbreakable, the real battle begins. The loudest footsteps on the road are the ones you can't outrun. You thought the road was your enemy? No. The storms, the deserts, the long empty highways, they're nothing compared to the shadow that follows you everywhere. And it isn't the stranger across the street. It isn't the faces that glare at you when you move differently. It's the one enemy that never leaves your side, yourself. Oh, you didn't see that coming, did you? You thought preparation was about fighting the world outside. But the most brutal battle is fought in silence, when nobody is watching, when your excuses whisper louder than your ambition. That's the enemy you've been dragging all this time. The one that looks like you, talks like you, and lies to you better than anyone else. This enemy is clever. It tells you to wait, to rest, to slow down just for a while. It convinces you that tomorrow is safer, easier, better. But tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is the trap that swallows men whole. And the road does not wait for tomorrow. It only answers those who are ready now. Wow. Isn't it insane? The person you fear most isn't out there. It's in here. And until you destroy that inner weakness, you'll never travel anywhere worth traveling. You'll move. Yes, but your movement will be empty, hollow, a performance. Because every time you step forward, that voice will pull you back. Yeah, it's exhausting to face it. That inner enemy never gets tired. It knows your habits. It knows your weaknesses. It knows exactly when you're about to break through, and that's when it hits you hardest. But listen carefully. If you can conquer yourself, then nothing outside can ever touch you. Not storms, not distance, not obstacles, nothing. Nah, don't misunderstand. This isn't about hating yourself, it's about refusing to let weakness rule you. It's about tearing apart the illusions that keep you from your new life. It's about staring that enemy in the eyes and saying, not today, not anymore. That's when the real transformation begins. That's when the cage shatters for good. Because here's the brutal reality. The road doesn't demand perfection. It demands honesty. And honesty means admitting the enemy you've been hiding from isn't outside. It's inside. The moment you accept that, you gain the power to crush it. You silence the excuses. You burn the laziness. You rebuild yourself from the ashes of every failure. Every mile you travel after that feels different. Every horizon becomes sharper. Every step carries weight. Because now, you're not running from yourself. You're carrying yourself forward. Weaponized, unstoppable. Oh, imagine that. Imagine traveling not as prey, not as a wanderer, but as a conqueror. Every city, every road, every challenge, bending to the will of someone who already defeated the hardest enemy of all. That's the secret. That's the key. That's the reason most people never taste true freedom on the road. They never killed what was killing them from within. A road without a destination is just wandering in circles. You've prepared. You've confronted the enemy within. But what's the point of traveling if you don't know where you're headed? Freedom without direction isn't freedom. It's chaos. And chaos may look thrilling for a moment, but in time, it devours you. Oh, you've seen it before. People who chase every shiny light, every temporary thrill, every random place. They move, but they never arrive. They collect photos, not victories. They chase distractions, not purpose. And at the end of it all, they're still lost. Because a traveler without a destination is just another prisoner. Only this time, the cage is invisible. That's why your journey cannot just be about escape. It must be about aim, about knowing exactly why you move and where that movement is supposed to take you. Otherwise, the road becomes endless noise, and you become nothing more than its echo. Wow, imagine this. Two people standing at the edge of the same road. Both of them step forward. Both of them travel the same distance. But one of them is walking blind, while the other walks towards something that matters. Who do you think will last longer? Who do you think will endure when the road gets heavy, when the storms rise, when the nights stretch endlessly? The one with a purpose always outlasts the wanderer. Always. Yeah. People will mock this. They'll say, just enjoy it, just live, just go with the flow. But that flow is what drowns them. They mistake drifting for living. They confuse being busy with being alive. They travel endlessly but achieve nothing. And when it's all said and done, they look back and realize their journey was just noise, not music. Nah, don't be fooled by that kind of weakness. A destination doesn't mean limitation, it means elevation. It means you're no longer wasting energy on places that don't sharpen you. It means every step is intentional, every mile is fuel, every road is proof that you're carving meaning out of movement. Your destination is not just a point on a map, it's a vision carved into your mind. A goal that drags you forward when your legs want to collapse. A fire that burns hotter than fatigue, louder than doubt, stronger than distraction. Without it, you'll wander. With it, you'll rise. And here's the secret. Most people never admit. The road is long, exhausting, and sometimes merciless. But when you carry a destination in your chest, the weight doesn't crush you. It forges you. Every struggle becomes fuel. Every setback becomes training. Every delay becomes proof of your endurance. That's the difference. That's the power of having a destination bigger than comfort. Think about it. The entire world could be against you. The winds could howl. The path could break. The nights could turn colder than stone. But if your destination burns inside you, nothing can stop you. Because you're no longer walking just to walk. You're walking to arrive. And arrival is what transforms movement into legacy. A life where your only job is to travel isn't about randomness. It's about discipline. It's about aligning your direction so sharply that even the obstacles begin to respect you. The road tests you, but your destination answers every test with unshakable clarity. The road doesn't change until you do. Most people think the road is fixed. A line of concrete, a stretch of dirt, a path that's already carved. But the truth? The road is alive. It bends, it shifts, it reflects exactly who you are. And when you walk it as a wanderer, it feels endless, empty, merciless. But when you walk it with preparation, with a destination burning inside you, it begins to bend in your favor. Oh, isn't that strange? The very same road that once looked impossible suddenly feels like it's pulling you forward. It's not the road that changed, it's you. You cut off the weight of excuses. You destroyed the enemy inside. You locked onto your purpose, and now the world itself begins to move differently under your feet. At first you don't believe it. You think it's coincidence. But then patterns appear. Obstacles that used to crush you now strengthen you. Delays that used to frustrate you now sharpen you. The road you once feared becomes your training ground. That's when you realize the road bends to discipline, not to desire. Wow. Let that sink in. It doesn't bend for those who simply wish or hope. It bends for those who are forged. Those who carry preparation like armor and destination like a sword. You walk the same miles as everyone else, but somehow your steps cut deeper. Your progress becomes undeniable. Yeah, people around you won't understand. They'll ask, why does it look easier for you? They'll whisper, how do you keep moving when everyone else is stuck? What they don't see is the fire that burned behind closed doors. The inner battles that stripped you raw. The discipline that refused to break. That's what bends the road. It's never luck, it's transformation. Don't mistake this bending for shortcuts. The road never removes the storms. The nights are still long. The miles are still heavy. But now, those storms strengthen you instead of stopping you. Now those nights sharpen your focus instead of breaking it. The road hasn't softened, it has hardened you. And so what once felt impossible now feels inevitable. That is the power of true preparation, purpose, and self-conquest. You don't beg the road to change. You change yourself, and the road has no choice but to answer. That's why most people will never experience it. They keep waiting for the world to shift in their favor, never realizing that the world only bends for those who refuse to break. Oh, imagine this. Traveling not as a victim of circumstance, but as the architect of movement itself. Every road carrying you forward, every horizon waiting for your arrival, every challenge bowing to your resilience. That's when travel stops being a task and starts becoming a destiny. And yet, even here, with the road bending in your favor, there is one more truth waiting in the shadows. A truth most travelers never dare to face. And that's it. You've heard the call, you've felt the fire. This isn't just a story. Nah, this is your blueprint, your weapon to step into a life where your only job is to travel. Oh wow. Imagine at every mile yours, every horizon bending, every road opening like it was waiting for you all along. That's not fantasy. That's your next reality. Yeah, but don't just sit back. Don't be silent. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me hear your roar, your hunger, your madness, because this speech, it's not complete without you. And listen. Big respect, big tribute to every single legend watching this right now. You're the heartbeat of this channel, the reason this voice gets louder, sharper, more dangerous every time. So if you felt this in your chest, if this monologue hit you where it hurts and where it heals, show love, smash that super thanks, keep this fire alive so we can go even deeper next time.